to you live from our Auckland Park studios. This is Prime News on SABC 3. Here's what's dominating in your leads at this hour.
The city has paid 3.5 million, and it's paid it to a person who just happens to be the partner of Madlanga, who is driving around with blue lights.
The Madlanga Commission has heard that a City of Ekurhuleni skills tender to the tune of 3.5 million rand was awarded to Tsakani Baloyi, the partner of alleged cartel member Vusumuzi Madlanga. The Durban High Court has ruled in favor of KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Madlanga Mkhwanazi after he approached the court to interdict and restrain a Durban businessman from defaming him on social media platforms.
I am under no illusions about the road ahead, should I be elected to this position.
And the DA deputy leader in the Western Cape, Jordan Hill Lewis, says if elected as the party's federal leader, he will make sure that the party works every day to shape the direction of government. Good evening and welcome to your Friday edition of Prime News on SABC 3. My name is Beki Mutumombelete and I'm here to guide you through the day's biggest stories. Now, as you know that global events are constantly shifting the landscape, let's get straight into it and take a closer look at your leads. The Madlanga Commission has heard that a City of Ekurhuleni skills tender to the tune of 3.5 million rand was awarded to Tsakani Baloyi, the partner of alleged cartel member Vusumuzi Madlanga. This is despite the red flags that accompanied the bid, which includes alleged fraud and the company having no training accreditations, to name a few.
The Madlanga Commission has heard that the partner of alleged cartel member Vusumuzi Madlanga of the infamous Blue Light saga was awarded a 3.5 million rand Ekurhuleni tender despite several red flags. Purchase orders allegedly continued with this company under suspended Ekurhuleni HR head Linda Kashega's watch, but she attributes it to the finance department to answer to.
You see, on the strength of a bid that should have been disqualified on any one of a number of obvious grounds, the city has paid 3.5 million. And it's paid it to a person who just happens to be the partner of Madlanga, who is driving around with blue lights that were obtained through the city. Does that not strike you as somewhat worrying on both fronts?
Chair, when I was speaking to my legal team yesterday, and we're going through the payments, this is one of the companies. At some point I said, they mustn't be utilized.
In addition, the Commission has heard that retired Deputy EMPD Police Chief Revo Spies won an arbitration award against the City of Ekurhuleni for his suspension in relation to fraud allegations over the extension of a contract. Spies previously testified that he was one of the officials victimized as a result of the shield that was allegedly afforded to now suspended EMPD Deputy Police Chief Commissioner Julius Mkhwanazi.
He'd given notice of early retirement in January, and he was going to leave the city with effect from the end of February. So you, in the first week of February, knowing that he's going at the end of the month, put him on suspension. Can you explain why?
As I said, Chair, the suspension is to investigate. The issue that an employee is sitting at home and serving notice at home, it should not have happened.
The hearings continue. Kani Mapanga, SABC News, Pretoria.
Meanwhile, Acting Police Commissioner Professor Feroz Kachalia says the damning allegations of corruption involving senior police officials at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry are deeply troubling and has urged the public to give the SAPS a chance to reset. Kachalia also welcomed the deployment of the SANDF to Gauteng, the Western Cape and the Eastern Cape to help tackle organized crime and illegal mining, describing it as a necessary intervention.
Police National Commissioner General Fanima Simula says the significance of the event is to ensure that the future of the children of the fallen heroes who died in the line of duty is well taken care of.
we are here to raise funds for members of the South African Police Service that died in the line of duty. It is not just about golf or golf day.
Acting Police Minister Feroz Kachalia says the revelations at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry are shocking.
What is being demonstrated or revealed in the Madlanga Commission is deeply concerning. And it does tell us what the problems are. But my appeal to the society is to see in this Madlanga moment an opportunity to reset policing.
Kachalia has welcomed the deployment of the SANDF members in hotspot areas.
The army is being deployed to support the police because it's very important that we bring some sense of calm in those communities affected by illegal mining, by the Zamas.
On Wednesday, Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana announced that R1 billion will be allocated to the police to assist in fighting organized crime. A windfall police top brass say this will go a long way in making sure that citizens are safe. Calvin Rudla, SABC News, Kempton Park.
In more related news, the EFF has formally laid a contempt of Parliament criminal complaint against private investigator Paul O'Sullivan. This after O'Sullivan abruptly halted his testimony at the ad hoc committee yesterday, leading him to stage a walkout without being granted leave of absence.
The EFF charges that Paul O'Sullivan was disrespectful and undermined the authority of Parliament. The party says he is in contravention of the Powers, Privileges and Immunities Act.
He is in contempt of Parliament, and it does carry a criminal offence which is equivalent to a fine or imprisonment or both.
The EFF insists O'Sullivan still has a lot of questions to answer.
We don't know how he got his citizenship. And if you go through those documents we received from Home Affairs that none of you have asked for, you will see that this man is a fraudster. He has captured our justices. He was training our police.
Meanwhile, the committee is considering its options on how to recall O'Sullivan to complete his testimony.
It's also in circumstances where his evidence has still not been concluded. So from the evidence leader's viewpoint, he needs to come back to conclude his evidence.
The reasonable action we are going to take, honorable members, is the same laborious and tedious action of engaging with the witness, including writing to him to inform him that the committee wants him to appear before it on a particular date.
National Assembly Speaker Thoko Didiza is also awaiting a report from the ad hoc committee on the circumstances leading to O'Sullivan walking out. Ulelani Philip, SABC News, Cape Town.
Next up, the Durban High Court has ruled in favour of KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi after he approached the court to interdict and restrain a Durban businessman from defaming him on social media platforms. The court ordered Calvin Matibeli to retract his statements, where he posted remarks suggesting that Mkhwanazi was captured by private interests and involved in organised hits. In terms of the order handed down today, Matibeli has been directed to withdraw all such statements. He's also required to use the same platforms for the retractions. The court has further prohibited Matibeli from repeating the allegations on any platforms going forward. In addition, he has been ordered to pay Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi's legal costs for the application. Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi argued in seeking relief that the statements caused damage to his dignity and the reputation of the South African Police Service. The friction reportedly began after police visited Matibeli's company, Calvin Security, in December last year and in February this year. In other news, DA Deputy Leader in the Western Cape, Jordan Hill-Lewis, says if elected as the party's federal leader, he will make sure that the party works every day to shape the direction of government. Hill-Lewis announced his entry into the race as party leader in the Elsies River in Cape Town. His nomination comes after the current leader, John Steenhuisen, said that he would not be standing for re-election at the DA's elective conference.
Committing himself to building a stronger party and officially announcing his candidacy, DA Deputy Leader in the Western Cape, Jordan Hill-Lewis, says the DA must work to win support from those who do not vote for it. and to ensure that, as part of the GNU, it prioritizes the well-being and prosperity of all South Africans.
I am under no illusions about the road ahead, should I be elected to this position. But with deep love for our country, I will work arm in arm with each of you to lead our country on the path to prosperity.
His announcement comes hours after the period for nominations of DA members to contest for the position ahead of its Congress opened. Positions under contestation include that of federal chairperson, which Johannesburg DA leader Salim Simanga is vying for. Asher Sarupin and Bernard Horn are set to contest the position of chairperson of the DA Federal Council, currently held by Helen Ziller.
We have until the 23rd of March to receive any and all nominations from all candidates as per the memorandum that went out to party structures. And the nominations are open for positions for federal leader, federal chairperson, 3 deputy federal chairpersons, the chairperson of federal finance, the chairperson of federal council, and the 3 deputies of federal council. So we're looking forward to going to April on the 11th and the 12th to test each and every candidate on what their offer is to the Democratic Alliance, its delegates.
The DA Congress will take place on the 11th and 12th of April in Gauteng. Vanessa Puna, SABC News, Cape Town.
When we return, the herds of dairy farmers will be prioritized for vaccination against the foot and mouth disease once vaccines arrive from abroad. We'll bring you the details shortly. Welcome back to Prime News on 3. At least 50 undocumented migrants have been arrested during an inspection in Clayville in Ekurhuleni. The Department of Employment and Labour, together with law enforcement authorities, conducted a raid at construction sites suspected of employing undocumented foreign nationals. Deputy Minister Jomo Sibiya says that these sites came under scrutiny after a video surfaced showing a Mozambican national challenging President Cyril Ramaphosa over the deployment of 10,000 labour inspectors.
The defiant video went viral on social media.
When Mr. Ramaphosa, I saw full from Monday. 14 February, Valentine Days. I'm a passport.
A construction site in Clayville in Ekurhuleni was in the spotlight on Friday morning. This as Employment and Labour Deputy Minister Jomo Sibiya, together with the Home Affairs and police officials, descended on 2 construction sites during a high-impact compliance blitz. Some construction workers were fleeing as the sites were cordoned off. Sibiya says employers should also be brought to book.
We want our laws to bite even more now, so that we avoid a situation where people will be repeated offenders. But we are taking a stance where if this site will come money and they are doing the very same thing, we are going to prosecute them. We are taking them for prosecution.
Sibiya says they have closed down one of the construction sites after inspectors uncovered that it was operating with a fraudulent permit.
We've just managed to find out that the permit that they are using is fraudulent. It's a fraudulent permit, and that is very disturbing. It can't go worse than that, because it's exactly what we saw in quite a number of sites that have collapsed. And now we're going to close that site immediately.
Sibiya confirmed that employers operating on the site could face fines of up to 10,000 rand per worker. Puselozo Mokoena, SABC News, Clayville in Ekurhuleni.
Now on to this. The herds of dairy farmers will be prioritized for vaccination against the foot and mouth disease once vaccines effective against all 3 strains of the virus found in South Africa arrive from abroad. The Department of Agriculture gave this undertaking at a heated meeting with irate dairy farmers at Howick in the KwaZulu-Natal Midlands.
The key strategy that they came forward with, and the one they've recommended, and the one we've ultimately adopted, is the mass vaccination strategy, so that we can get ahead of foot and mouth disease in South Africa and ensure that we can prevent outbreaks from happening rather than reacting to outbreaks. It's a similar model that was used in Argentina and Brazil to deal with foot and mouth disease when they had a similar situation where FMD was wildly out of control. Why have we chosen that model? We've chosen that model specifically because the circumstances in those countries better suit the circumstances in our country than the model that's used in Europe.
Thank you for staying with us as we move along to Central Africa. Tensions have escalated in the Democratic Republic of Congo after the assassination of the M23 group spokesperson. The latest attacks in eastern DRC are a sign that the much talked about ceasefire is not holding. There's been no word from the regional organization or the African Union on the conflict escalation.
The DRC conflict is continuing unabated. The DRC, supported by Burundi, launched attacks directed at M23 group, who are supported by the Rwandan government. There was a glimmer of hope after the DRC government agreed to a ceasefire on the margins of the African Union summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
Let us say we are making good headway. The team is working well. We're looking forward to future meetings where we hope to consolidate positions and begin the actual work on the ground.
The interim chair of SADC, who is expected to take over the chairmanship of the organization this year, President Cyril Ramaphosa, has called for peace, a call echoed by the UN chief.
The countries such as South Sudan, Sudan, and the DRC are countries that are facing enormous challenges.
The recent killing of the M23 group spokesperson has sparked fears that tension in the Great Lakes region will escalate and that the region will experience political instability and insecurity. Sophie Mkwena, SABC News.
It is now time for us to take a look at your latest market snapshot, reflecting the day's trading activity as recorded at 7:30 this evening. It is now time for us to take a look at what is happening under our southern skies. And as always, our team has all the details that you need. Your forecast is coming up next.
Very good evening and welcome. Let's take a look at what to expect weather-wise for this evening as well as tomorrow. It's seeing clear conditions through the central, western as well as the southern parts of the country. Otherwise, it will be partly cloudy over the northeastern as well as the eastern parts of the country. That's with isolated to scattered showers and thunder showers in places. Now tomorrow, starting off with early morning fog patches along the escarpment of the Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal, all the way through to Mpumalanga. Those fog patches expected to reduce visibility to less than 1 kilometer in places. Otherwise, seeing a cold front making landfall, isolated showers and rain expected over the western and southwestern parts of the Western Cape. Now through the central, northern, northeastern, as well as the eastern parts of the country, we do have a forecast of isolated showers and thunder showers, mainly scattered over the northwest into Gauteng, the Free State, Mpumalanga, and in places over Lesotho. Now for this evening, South African Weather Service has issued a yellow level 2 warning for severe thunderstorms over the interior of KwaZulu-Natal into Mpumalanga, Gauteng, extreme southern parts of Limpopo, and into the northwest. Those storms still possible tomorrow with damaging winds over the southeastern parts of the Northern Cape, coupled with high fire danger conditions over the western, central, and southern interior, where runaway fault fires are possible. Damaging waves expected along the southwestern coastal regions, where there is a possibility of difficulty in navigation at sea. Overnight temperatures in Komani down to 13, Mthatha at 14, 22 is your overnight low in Musina, 8 in Kalfinia, Sutherland down to 1 degree, peaking at 23 tomorrow, 25 is your high in George, East London peaking at 26, while Port St. John's is looking at a maximum of 30. On to Sunday, partly cloudy to cloudy conditions, isolated to scattered showers and thunder showers over the central as well as the eastern parts. That's your weather. Do stay tuned.
As a news cycle resets and the world awakens anew, remember that every moment is an opportunity to shape the future. We thank you for joining us on Prime News on SABC 3. And until next time, from myself, Becky, and the team, take care.